You're welcome. You can take your seatings. Thank you. Honorable members, good morning. Welcome in today's sitting. And the team that was summoned from Firstchoice are within the premise, and therefore I would like us to start with a word of prayer. Then I give it to our chair to do the round of introduction, and then he's going to give us the direction. Shall we pray? Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and the county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessing descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matter that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and the welfare of our county and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. And we all say, Chair, welcome.
Thank you so much, Vice Chair. Honorable members and our visitors today, good morning. Welcome to this session, and we will start by introducing ourselves, and as our tradition, let me ask that the honorable members please introduce yourself as we progress, starting from the farthest member.
I'm Gilbert Koskei, Cheptiret Kipchamo, member of the committee.
Good morning. I'm Hilary Kipchumba, MCA Moiben Ward.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Diego Thomas, representing Tarakwa, member to this committee. Welcome.
My name is Moses Kebenei, MCA Simat Kapsaret, member to the committee.
Good morning, members. I'm Kimani Wanjohi, MCA for Huruma and a friend to this committee.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chelimo Juliet, MCA Wasingisho.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Honorable James Maina Washira, MCA Wasingisho.
Good morning. I'm Honorable Patrick Mayo, MCA Mosbridge and the Chair for Labour.
And I am Jonathan Ngetich, member of this committee, MCA representing Kaptagat.
Thank you so much, honorable members. And with us are a team of secretariat. Please introduce yourself.
I am Richard Diego, deputy clerk and representing the clerk.
Sharon Kwamba, Sajinatam.
I'm Elias Koech, research.
I'm Kelvin Mibanda, committee clerk.
Yes, good morning. My name is Michelle Saina, I'm the counsel to the assembly.
Victor Birgen, committee clerk.
Thank you so much. Deputy Chair, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Honorable Francis Muyamwangi, a member representing Langas Ward, and I am the leader of minority and Nebo Vice Chair to this ad hoc committee.
Thank you so much. Today we have visitors, and let me take this opportunity to ask whether we have one Judy Chepchirchir with us.
Yes, Chair.
Thank you so much. Our legal officer, please administer the oath.
I, Judy Chepchirchir, do swear that the evidence I shall give before this ad hoc committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you so much, Judy, Madam Judy Chepchirchir. Perhaps you may want to introduce your colleagues or friends whom have accompanied you.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. My name is Judy Chepchirchir. I'm the Director of Firstchoice Recruitment and Consultancy. With me here is my advocate. I will give him to introduce himself and my PA. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, members of this committee, members of the Secretariat, my name is Henry Kenei, an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I practice with the law firm of Kenei and Associates Advocates LLP. I am here in my capacity as an advocate for Firstchoice Recruitment Agency and also for Judy Chepchirchir. We are glad to be here.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, members. I'm Matthew Kemboy, PA to Madam Judy.
Our visitors, welcome. I'm using the word visitors, although not properly so placed, because this is actually a sermon. And nonetheless, you're welcome. I want to read a letter, a sermon letter, that was forwarded to your office, Madam Judy Chepchirchir, so that you respond whether you got it. And this is a letter dated 23rd January 2023, originating from this committee and addressed to one Judy Chepchirchir, Firstchoice Recruitment and Consultancy Agency, which states as follows. Whereas your attendance is required to appear before the County Assembly Ad-hoc Committee constituted by a resolution pursuant to Section 18 of the County Assembly's Powers and Privileges Act number 6 of 2017, following the admission by the County Assembly of a petition from residents of Uasin Gishu County who sought services from Firstchoice Recruitment and Consultancy Agency and alleged to have been swindled. The ad hoc will require the following information, both oral and documentary. One is details and current status of Uasin Gishu residents who successfully applied and were to proceed to work in Qatar. Details and current status of Uasin Gishu residents who were to proceed for further studies to Poland, Finland, Britain, and Qatar. C, the number of Uasin Gishu residents who applied for jobs and learning opportunities but were unsuccessful. Why they were unsuccessful and reasons for retaining their travel documents and testimonials. And the last, any refunds made by the agency to proof of the same. You are hereby required personally to appear before the County Assembly Ad-hoc Committee on Thursday, 26th day of January, 2023 at 9 a.m. at the County Assembly Chamber. Failure to comply with these summons without lawful excuse, you will be subject to consequences as laid down in Section 27 of the County Assembly's Powers and Privileges Act number 6 of 2017. Take note that the ad hoc committee, while as issuing summons, has powers as the High Court as provided for in Section 18.1 of the County Assembly's Powers and Privileges Act number 6 of 2017. I just want to proceed on to read the prerequisite sites of the law that gives us authority to prosecute this matter. And this is County Assembly's Powers and Privileges Act number 6 of 2017, Section 18. Section 18 talks about invitation and summoning of witnesses. 1. A county assembly or its committees may invite or summon any person to appear before it for the purpose of giving evidence or providing any information, paper, book, record, or document in the possession or under the control of that person. And in this respect, a county assembly and its committees shall have the same powers as the High Court as specified under Article 195 of the Constitution. And the summons issues under subsection 1 shall be issued by the clerk on the direction of the speaker or the chairperson of the committee acting in accordance with the resolution of the committee. Now, when I go to County Assembly's Powers and Privileges, number 6 of 2017, Section 27, offenses relating to witnesses. A person commits an offense where the person A, having been duly summoned in terms of Section 18, fails without sufficient cause to attend at the time and place specified in the summons, or 2, remain in attendance until excused from further attendance by the person presiding at the inquiry. When called upon under Section 18, refuses to be sworn in or to make an affirmation as a witness, or fails to disobey without sufficient cause to 1, answer fully and satisfactorily all questions lawfully put to the person under Section 18, or produce any document, paper, book, or record in the person's possession, custody, or control, which the person has been required to produce under Section 18. A person who commits an offense under Section 1 is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 200,000 shillings or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 6 months or both. Perhaps I thought that is important for the consumption of Madam Judy Chepchirchir and for the general knowledge to the public. Thank you so much, Madam Judy Chepchirchir. I just want you to acknowledge having received that document so that we proceed on.
Yes, Honorable Chair, I received the document on 23rd of January. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We requested that accompanying you are details of current status of Uasin Gishu residents who successfully applied and were to proceed to work in Qatar. Do you have that list?
Yes, Chair, I have.
Please share it to the
Not
committee.
the list. I have the details of the persons.
Yeah, share it with us, please.
Oh, I can read out. Thank you, Chair and honorable members.
Order, Madam Judy. You are required to submit. You are required to submit And here, it is talking about details and current status of Uasin Gishu residents who successfully applied and were to proceed to work in Qatar. Those who just applied. Those who paid. We want a list.
With names.
And the status.
Maybe with your kind indulgence, Honorable Chair, I think, yes, we do have, she does have a list, and from the structure of the summons indicated that give the details. Of course, a format was not given from these summons. So that is the reason as to why we thought that the Assembly wanted us to highlight and to be able to give them those details in this sitting, Honorable Chair. That is the reason as to why my client is requesting to be able to read through that information for the consumption of the committee. I hope we understood the summons properly.
Chair, I have listened to the advocate representing Madam Judy, but as the chair is stating, and you have alluded that maybe you did not understood, maybe you mean that you don't have the correct details, because being a committee, we are going to work with documents that is going to be properly tabled to this committee, because the petitioners, by the end of this sitting, we have to give a verdict on what we have looked into. Therefore, it is not proper for us just to listen. Would like the documentary evidence, as the number one state, details and current status, meaning that after you give a name of a given unit, the status, did she go or he, did you, what is the current status? Therefore, it needed a proper and detailed status of the same. Do you have, or maybe you need time to be given so that you can provide to this committee through the chair?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Vice Chair and members of this committee. Yes, as I alluded to, that the summons indicated that we need the details. Of course, no structure was given on how those details should be submitted. Yes, we have a list which is handwritten, and we have no problem sharing with the committee. Yes.
Chairman.
What is it, Honorable
Ngatich? What made them to think that it should be unwritten or should be orally presented and not giving us the written one and typed? What made you think that it should be orally presented and not shared with us as a written document?
And maybe to add that, Chair, by using the word detailed, remember, we are in receipt of a petition. And therefore, by the end of this sitting, this committee have an obligation to rightfully address the petitioners that we got the information to this number of students, and these are their status, for them to agree or even raise other objection. Therefore, it was proper, because we are not saying that Judy by now is guilty. It's by her explaining herself, and the fact she has gone with the process, that's the time now the committee can be able to say what is the position. Therefore, having a detailed report will really help this committee in making their decisions.
Yes. Thank you so much, Vice Chair and Honorable Member who has asked a question. Allow me to answer, I believe, being a follow-up question from what was asked. Why we thought we need to come and give those details here is indicated actually in the summons itself by the fact that a personal attendance was required, no documentary, because you have two options. You can appear through documentary procedure, or you can appear in person and be able to give the details. And that's what I'm saying. We do have the details. The only thing is that we don't have any specific structure. And if the assembly... Yes.
The advocate. Perhaps you will allow us to use advocate to mean you.
That is quite in order.
Okay, thank you so much. In the letter, we said in the first paragraph, we said the ad-hoc will require the following information, both oral and documentary. We are lucky. We have advocates here with us again. Maybe you will help us, Wakili Mheshimiwa, to tell us what does that mean.
The documentary itself is self-explanatory, that you ought to be having them with you as you attend this committee.
Thank you. So that we proceed, can it service to mean that you don't have that list?
We do have the list, Honorable Chair. Yes. Let the record reflect that.
How much time do you need for that to be done? To be presented?
We have the list and we are willing, we are ready to submit the list.
Good. Thank you so much.
We are ready to submit the list.
Please do.
Yes.
That is the details and current status of Uasin Gishu residents who successfully applied and were to proceed to work in Qatar. Don't worry, we will give you your original copy. We just want to, we will photocopy and give you the original, we will give back the original.
That is fine. That is quite in order.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And perhaps, is it signed?
Chair, from the document that I hold, we'll seek you to rule, because this is just, this is we have a very detailed petition, and we want to be as official as possible, because the document is just handwritten. It is not signed. It does not bear any stamp from Firstchoice. Kindly relook to it so that we can see whether it is admissible to your committee. Thank you.
Advocate.
Honorable Chair, yes.
This looks like work in progress. It's not a final document. Because when you said that total number of clans 2021 deployed 827, refunded 2,000. I wanted details. I wanted name. I want to know Mr. Wafula applied and paid this amount of money and deployed, or awaiting deployment, or is or awaiting refund or refunded. Honorable members, is it that was what we expect, so that this is good. I don't want to say that this is not good work, but it is good for the consumption of the office of Firstchoice Recruitment Consultancy. Answer. This is not our property. Perhaps I will hand it back to you, and maybe ask you to address this committee on when will you be ready to give us that information. On question number 2, details and current status of Uasin Gishu residents who were to proceed for further studies to Poland, Finland, Britain, and Qatar. You have that list as well?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't have the list because I don't do recruitment. I don't do students. I do all the work. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Number
Chair,
C.
Chair, for the consumption of this committee, because I think even petitioners are.
That was.
Can she be clear? It's okay, but can she be clear on what she means? Kindly.
I think I have heard that well. That she does not deal with students. She only deals with people who go to work. So perhaps we erred by saying further studies.
Chairman.
Yes, Honorable Ngatich.
From the documents and information we do have in our files, Chair, there is an indication that she also does students. So she does students who go study and work at the same time. Is that true or false?
Perhaps you can answer that direct, because it's.
Thank you, Chair and Honorable Member. As indicated by your letter, you state that give clear details and current status of Uasin Gishu residents who proceed for further studies to Poland, Finland, Britain, and Qatar.
I've not asked that. Answer what I've asked. I've not referred to what is in the summon. You do students who go study and work, or purely those who travel to work?
I'm mandated to do traveling for work, both locally.
So you don't
and
handle issues?
I consult. If you consult on behalf of, if you want to go and study, I consult as a consultant, but I don't do it.
So have you consulted some students to go
Yeah,
there?
I consult on daily basis, honorable member, when someone will ask you about education outside the country, because I've been out of country when I was doing my master's. So when someone consult, when it comes to education, definitely I give answer.
You provide a link for the same?
No, we don't do education.
You don't do
We
education?
don't do education. Thank you.
On that note.
Yes, Chair.
Have you handled a resident, a Kenyan resident, who wanted to go for study in your personal capacity?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I have done.
And if we are in receipt of a petition from a resident of Kenya, against your farm, how would you handle that?
Probably, Honorable Chair, to assist my client, we didn't understand your question very clearly. Probably if you can come back again and explain to us so that we can know how to deal with it. So that
Thank you so much. The question
is
is direct. We have a petition. One of the petitioners wanted to go study abroad through your farm, and he paid, and everything was done, but he was not successful. So where do you place that? Because now, from the statement from Madam Judy, is that she does not handle that part. So where will we place this petitioner?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Chair. I'm not hijacking Judy from responding to the question, but just to set the record straight on the concerns that I would have with that question. That, yes, of course, we have a specific petition before us, which was shared with us pursuant to the issuance of the summons. We have that petition, we've gone through it, and looking at that petition, there is nothing specific about travel for studies in that petition. and we hope that we got it clearly. What probably, Chair, we are getting from your question is that this is something outside this petition. And if this was to be the case, because as we appear before this committee, and my client having taken an oath to be able to speak the truth, and considering how sacrosanct the proceedings of a county assembly or any legislative body in this country, because you're being treated as of the same status with the High Court. And when you are to appear before the High Court and respond to any question, we would request that we don't get into the realm of speculation where we may we may be ambushed in terms of the questions, because if there is a petition before this assembly to that effect, the best thing would be to serve us so that we respond to it specifically. Otherwise, the bottom line is Firstchoice does not deal with processing of students overseas. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Through you, Chair.
Yes.
Kindly. I think, as you had read, details and current status of Uasin Gishu residents who were to proceed for further studies to Poland, Finland, Britain, and Qatar. And the director said she doesn't handle studies. I think for the consumption of this committee, we just leave it there to rest. We will deal with it as we proceed forward. Kindly, Chair, the answer, she has said she doesn't do studies. So let's proceed. We will handle it for the consumption of this committee. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. Let's go to number C. The number of Uasin Gishu residents who applied for jobs. Now you can avoid the learning opportunities, but were unsuccessful. Why they were unsuccessful and reasons for retaining their travel documents and testimonials, if any. What is it, Honorable Caroline?
Chair, it's important to note that we expect honesty and pure honesty in this House. Secondly, we do not expect that legal jargon is used so much in such a way that it advances the veil of protection on the said accused person. The relationship that exists between the legal representative, the legal aid, and his client is not in any way related to the intentions and the objectives of this committee. What we expect to see is someone to own up, to tell us what they know about this whole process, and not to run away from issues by hiding behind legal jargon. Thank you, Chair.
I would like you to rule on this because, you know, and I understand that our legal advisor had advised us that she have talked to the advocate, to Judy, and he was just to come and see whether we are following the proceeding according to the law, and if I can refer to the summons that I have in my file. And I'll need assistance to everybody. If you can follow, let us read together, because Judy is alluding that she does not handle study cases. But here is the petition, and after the petition, we are in receipt of document advising us, and that's why we are asking that question. And this was the summons, this was the petition. It was dated 22nd November 2022. The County Assembly Uasin Gishu, box 131,100. Firstchoice Recruitment and Consultant Agency. We, the undersigned, attached annex identification details, do hereby state that we are Kenyan citizens by birth, resident of Uasin Gishu County and neighboring counties in the Republic of Kenya. Draw the attention of the County Assembly, Uasin Gishu County, to the following. Do hereby raise concern with respect to Firstchoice Recruitment and Consultancy Agency, Eldoret CAM. Underline those words. We draw the attention of the County Assembly to the fact that money was obtained by Firstchoice Recruitment and Consultancy Agency to facilitate, underline the word that I'm reading, to facilitate jobs and studies placement abroad. Chair, underline the word is studies placement abroad. Before World Cup 2022 starts, it's now a major scandal that has robbed many families and youth livelihood and property running to millions. That we do here confirm that the issue in the respect of which the petition is made is not pending before any court of law as at the date of writing this letter. Therefore, your humble petitioner pray that the County Assembly here requests the County Assembly to prosecute the matter, particularly given the potential consequences and impact of failing to root out the causes of such unrest and appropriate way to settle the same. And your petitioner will ever pray here, pray that you deliberate and give recommendation, advice, and way forward that are not limited to the Firstchoice Recruitment and Consultancy Agency, refunding us our monies, passports, and other testimonial documents we had given them. Further recommendation is that if we found under your wisdom that fraud or criminal liability has been committed by the accused, that is Firstchoice Recruitment and Consultancy Agency, then appropriate legal mechanism be recommended. Summary. Petition concerning Firstchoice Recruitment and Consultancy Agency. Here, we, the undersigned victims of a Qatar scandal, wish to appeal and associate in informed assistance of the County Assembly in respect to the matter. Name of the petitioner, signature, and behind there is a list of the petitioners, their telephone numbers, IDs, and their signatures. Chair, the first paragraph, that's where I'm referring. The consultancy agency to facilitate jobs and studies placement abroad. You had ruled what a honorable member by the name Moses had suggested, but to me, the petition before me also included that there were students who are being placed abroad for the same study. Therefore, our question number 2 to me still stands, that even the document that we are in possession as a committee suggests there were students who were promised to go to either Poland or those named countries for their higher studies. Kindly give us direction.
The advocate, I am now starting to figure out if we should put you under oath, because you are now you are becoming the respondent, and I'm starting getting worried. But I don't want to go that direction. Let me put this question straight. That in the many people who came for assistance, because it was assistance, you never handled education matter. Because We, in due course, we will showcase some applications made to you for study. And I don't know how you will handle that as we move on. So please respond to that.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and honorable members of this House. Our license is Firstchoice Recruitment Consultancy and Recruitment and Consultancy. We are being licensed by National Employment Authority. That's the authority that gives us the right to employ on behalf of other companies abroad and locally. For you to do education, you must register as an education consultant, of which we have not done it. We do education based on a client, if it's based on someone who requests for education. But out there, we don't advertise for education opportunities.
Now, in this case, Chairman, have you done any case to do with education?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, that's why I say I consult on behalf.
Thank you so much. Now, I think we are on the same page. You will now be required to give us details and current status of Wasingishu residents who were to proceed for further studies. If there is any, if there is 1, 2, or 10, you will give us that list. Number C, number of Wasingishu residents who applied for jobs, learning opportunities, but were unsuccessful. Why they were unsuccessful and reasons for retaining their travel documents and testimonials, if any. You have that list with you again?
Yes, I have the numbers, Chair.
You have them?
Yeah, I can go through it. Thank you, Honorable Chair and members of this House. I want to give the details of unsuccessful applicants and the reason why they were unsuccessful.
Chairman.
What is it, Honorable Ngeti?
Give direction. It's not oral details. We need the documentary details for now. Oral will be
Order, Honorable Ngetich. She has not said that she does not have the document. Perhaps, maybe I can ask that on behalf of the Honorable Member. Do you have the document?
Yes, I
with
do.
you?
Yes, I do.
Please submit, table.
Yes, that is it, Chairman.
Sorry, Chair, I was out of the county. I just came this morning. That's why I do a handwritten. But I will furnish this House with a typed copies of what you want once we are done. Thank you.
Through you, Chair.
So are you saying that this one is inadmissible as well?
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. If you may allow me to respond to that issue about that document. We have no problem submitting the document as it is. We have no problem, so long as the Assembly or this committee is comfortable with it, because it's the details.
Point of order, Chair. Point of order, Chair.
What is it, Honorable Caro?
Please, through that powerful chair that you're seated on, I'm requesting that you reduce the legal aid of the said person who has been summoned. I'm requesting that you reduce the position of the legal representative or the legal aid of the person who has
Put
been
off
summoned.
the other mic, eh? Kindly, we want to hear you, member.
Thank you, Vice Chair. I'm requesting for the third time that you put back the said attendee to his rightful position, that of advising his client, and not advising or making any responses to this honorable House. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, with that, I would like you to rule, and before you rule, you give our legal advisor, because they are the one who spoke to our invitee and the lawyer, what were the direction, so that we can have a way forward, kindly. Because through our legal advisor, she spoke to our invitee,
Chair,
kindly.
before you move to that position, first of all, I want to really inquire in the first place, because what we are doing is part finding. We've not gone to the real resolution to say that somebody is convicted or has done a mistake. I don't see the reason why I should rush to get a lawyer, yet we are just doing
Order,
Honorable
Mary Goretti. It will help us if you do some listening so that we all work in the same. Yeah, thank you so much. I had sought the help of our legal officer to know to what extent you will be involved in today's proceedings. And I asked, and she assured me that you will be operating within the law in assisting her. As and when she will feel that you are outside the perimeter of that law, she will advise us and we will take action accordingly. So, so far, I've not seen her saying anything, so I think we are okay to proceed. Or perhaps you may want to add something on that.
Yes, Chair. Thank you for this opportunity. What your position that you've stated is correct, as we had spoken in the morning, is that the counsel for Judy, I know is here to ensure that whatever proceedings we are conducting here will be done within the law, as he's representing the interests of his client. But then perhaps it's also good for this committee to know that the summons were personal and they were to Judy. And she's under oath now, and so it's her duty to this committee to give information that is truthful and sincere, and to try as much as possible to answer those questions directly herself. Yeah.
Maybe, Honorable Chair, if you may allow me to say this.
Order. You don't just come. You know, you request through the chair, and this is not a media house where you go for the opportunity and address. This is an organized house. It has its rules, standing orders, so that when you want to address this committee, you first seek for that opportunity to do so. Stand guided by what our legal officer has just told the committee, and we will be okay. We will be okay. As and when you will feel that the rights of your client is being infringed, I will ask that you raise your hand so that you can note that, and when you raise your hand, you will be given opportunity to pick that, and then we will be able to deliberate and agree, and we move on. Yeah, please do.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. Probably I should start by giving my assurance to this committee that I am a strict obedient of the rule of law. And I would want to indicate that raise just a concern, because I'm not responding. As an advocate, I don't respond on facts. I don't respond on behalf of the client in terms of information to be given. And you would see that every time you ask the question and you need information, it would come from Judy. The only time I would interject was on procedural issues, when I think what is supposed to be, the procedure is not right. And probably just to refer this committee to an assurance that we were given from the County Assembly when we were given the summons. One of the assurances is that the proceedings of this committee shall follow strict compliance with the rules of natural justice and the rule of law. That is an assurance we received through the clerk of this assembly. And matters of procedure, Honorable Chair and members of this committee, go to the core of the rule of law. The reason I am here is to assist my client to ensure she is able to navigate these proceedings in a fair and just manner. I am not here to respond to any question, and we need then to even have the record proper, Honorable Chair, because when a member of this committee would call my client an accused person, it would be a wrong record for it there. My client is not here as an accused person, because if we were to be here as accused persons, then the nature of our response and participation will change. So we are here summoned to give information. And that is, we should be treated from such a spectrum. That is a procedural issue, because how you name my client and it goes on record.
That one is well prosecuted.
Thank you. Yes, so for me, I'll only interject on issues of procedure and to ensure that my client gets justice. Because at the end of the day, we want to walk out of this committee knowing that justice has been done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and please remain there. Don't cross the border. Asante. Asante.
Chair, I would like to give you the status of the document that I'm in receipt of your Vice Chair.
Proceed.
This is a document that is handwritten on a foolscap without stating where it comes from, without the stamp of Firstchoice to show that this is a document that we can stand with. More so, it is have just stated that the number of unsuccessful is 1,184 without any information. Those refunded is 199 without information. I presuppose by star, meaning that 985 and something has been not clearly been seen 475. Therefore, Chair, what I can state is that this is just a paper that I think is not. You need to see whether it's admissible, because we'd like to have document that we can stand with going forward.
Maybe Chairman.
Yes,
maybe
Honorable
before you give direction. Advocate Kenai is here. His client has presented that document to this County Assembly. With all the procedure that he has mentioned and the good English that you have mentioned, Chairman, how can he allow the client to bring that document to this County Assembly? That is district practice, Chairman.
Now, perhaps, Honorable Ngetich, those are issues that will help you decide whether you will forward his name to your friend for representation. But for the purpose of this committee, our legal officer, you are not in order. You are out of order. This, to me, again, I don't want to discredit, because it was done and submitted by you. I want to conclude that this is also work in progress.
Chair.
Because the 389 awaiting their refund, where are those names? So we need information. We want to know at the end of the day who requested to go where and what happened. So that is where we are. And please allow me to return this to you so that we will handle this matter the same as issue A and B as we move forward. Mary Goretti, Honorable.
Thank you. What I would also say, Chair, to the advocate, to the client today, is that kindly you should be informed that this committee has not convicted anybody. We are just looking for information. And kindly stand guided that this committee is not there to prosecute anybody. What we are doing, we want information that is truthful to this committee, that will assist the petitioners to get their rightful attendance in terms of what they were seeking for. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any refunds made by the agency and proof of the same? Number D. If it is work in progress, just let us know that these are work in progress so that we will make a decision on all 4.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yeah, we have the evidence of payment for the petitioners. Remember, we had 11 petitioners who had come before this house and petitioners for the refund. Out of 12 who happen to be our clients, I can confirm to this house that 5 of them have received their refund back because they followed the procedure of refund, and the remaining 7 have not collected their refund back.
Order, Madam Judy. We have not yet reached anywhere. We are just starting. And we are asking you to submit documents for this honorable committee to consume as we proceed on.
Chairman,
Yes, Honorable Ngetich.
as you receive the document, Chairman, she indicated that of the 12 petitioners, Chairman, I think we are here not because of the 12 petitioners. It is the petitioners on behalf of others, and there are many, in thousands. So she indicated that of the 7, of the 12, she has refunded 5 and remaining are 7. Kindly inform her, Chairman, that we are not dealing with the petitioners only.
I think that again is the agony of having an advocate. This is a public hearing. The people who signed the petition signed it on behalf of the residents of Uasin Gishu. The number of the residents of Uasin Gishu, if I may go to the closest census, we have more than 500 registered voters. So this is not a, separate this with a court proceedings. Separate this with the court proceedings where we are handling the people who signed. They signed on behalf of many of us. And that is why the question was, how many applied? How many were successful? How many were not successful? Being not successful does not mean that you failed. So we are talking about the people. In fact, they are Kenyans. I don't want to restrict them to be from Uasin Gishu, but they are Kenyans. So you've given us 7 out of the thousands. Is that what you want to mean? Thank you so much. Honorable Mary Goretti, what is it about this?
Chair, I don't know how you really began. I'm sorry to have come late because I was committed elsewhere. If it were me, because we are not doing any court proceedings here, I would have wished the lawyer could sit there, take note of whatever we shall be going against his client. Because this is not his time to reply.
Order, Honorable Member from Kipsomba. I think you should have started by introducing yourself so that it for the benefit of the House.
Okay, thank you, Chair, for that. You know, sometimes I forget myself. My name is Honorable Mary Goriti Boroswa, representing the great people of Kipsomba Ward, and a member to this committee. And I'm sorry because I had other commitments outside there. And my concern as at now, Chair, is that we are...
You have done, you are done with the introduction.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Chair.
Maybe you take my concern and maybe
Thank you,
guide
thank
me.
you,
Chair.
thank you, thank you. Honorable Kimayo Patrick from Moy's Bridge.
Thank you,
What
Chair.
is it? And please restrict yourself to what we are handling.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I just have a problem with these documents being presented there. We need something, because I believe Firstchoice are not dealing with the paperwork. They have documentary there. They have documents. And since Firstchoice is not far away from Wazingishu, in our town, I would request that you rule they bring these documents here. We deal with things which are admissible. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. In our possession, you said there are 7.
There are 5.
There are 5? Thank you. Let me look at them. So this one seeks to answer question D, any refunds made by the agency and proof of the same. So members, this is a letterhead of a bank to mean that they have attempted to do 5 refunds out of the thousands honorable members we are discussing.
Yes.
This one, I will admit this one.
Chairman, maybe as you admit, Chairman, time to give further explanation over the same. Because she said 5 out of 12. Can she come clear on that?
Please, can you come on that, following my direction on where, on our scope?
Thank you, Chair and honorable members of this House. I gave copies of 5 persons who have already paid based on the petition. You know, I was served with a petition of a number of 14 persons. Out of the 14, it shows that 2 are not members of my, they're not my clients. So out of my clients, I've just responded with those who've made the payment, and that doesn't mean that we only pay the 5. Honorable members and Chair, we already made a payment of 199 refunds to our clients. And on
So,
this,
you are ready to bring those documents?
thank you, Chair. Under data protection, we are not allowed to give details of clients without their consent. And that one, my advocate can explain to you. Thank you.
Okay. What about this one? What about the 5?
The 5 is because they've already petitioned before this court, and I thought it was good to give out because they already...
This is not a court.
no, sorry. They petitioned before the House, and I felt like because they already given you, they've given other consent on the same...
Sorry. Chairman.
Order.
Chairman.
Order, members.
We are still not reading from the same page.
Order, Honorable Jonathan. It is in our culture as well to give the respondents time. Yeah.
Chairman, be clear.
Are
we handling the issues to do with petitioners, 14 of them, or are you handling on behalf of many Kenyans?
That is the question I have asked her to address. Order, member from Kipsombe. You know, it's also it's good also if we give them time. It may be 1 minute or 2, and then we'll have our time. Order, member from Kipsombe. This is an honorable house. Yes, you don't, a point of order that has been overruled, you don't insist. So, yeah, please I hope you are not going back to where she is, because we want to give a direction.
Yes, like I said, thank you, Honorable Chair. Like I said, that I'll only interject on matters of law and procedure. And at this point, there are two things that have arisen that I would wish to respond, at least in defense of my client. One, there is an indication that we are not just dealing with the petition. That is what I'm getting from the members of this, the honorable members of this committee. But we would appreciate, Honorable Chair, that we were served with a summon. We are here pursuant to a summon of this honorable committee, and the summon indicated why we should be able to respond, that it's pursuant to a petition, and the petition is attached. When you look at the petition, Honorable Chair, it's very specific that the petition is by 14 persons, and the petition is very specific on the issues they require. So that as a cardinal principle for a fair hearing, Honorable Chair, every person who is invited is prepared on what is required to be responded to. The petition does not anywhere, looking at it, indicate that there are other petitioners, so that then this is a representative petition. It's very specific that we, the petitioners, and they are talking of this 14 who have appended their signatures to the petition. So that if we now say we are not dealing with this, we will then be expanding the scope. Thank you.
Chair, before you give direction, I would like to rule on this matter. In my file, apart from the petition that was signed by the 14, they had attached a list of so many others, because the petition talks about those who are in Uasin Gishu and the neighboring counties. But those who are present to sign the petition were 14. But together with the petition, in my file, there is a list of so many others. Yes, they did not sign, but we are in receipt of their names and particular, meaning that though the legal counsel of our invited person today is alluding that they are only addressing issues or matters of those who signed, I would like you to give direction. What happens to the list that was attached together with the petition that we received, and maybe the Secretariat, maybe in our housekeeping, will tell us, did they even submit the same? Because according to us, we are prosecuting this matter for the benefit of the 14 and all those who applied, because they are either our brothers and sisters, they are residents of Uasin Gishu or our neighboring counties, and they have used very weighty words that it was a scam. And as an assembly, as a representative of the people, would like to prosecute this matter wholesomely so that it does not recur. Give direction, Chair.
Thank you so much.
Chair, before you give directions, I don't know why we are spending a lot of time, and the summon is very clear. Let us not, as Mheshimiwa Cherono said, let us not use the legal jargons. Let us stick to the summon. A. Details and current status of Uasin Gishu residents who successfully applied and were to proceed to work in Qatar. Very simple. Number B. Details and current status of Uasin Gishu residents who were to proceed for further studies to Poland, Finland, Britain, and Qatar. She said she doesn't deal with studies. Proceed to C. The number of Uasin Gishu residents who applied for jobs and learning opportunities but were unsuccessful were why they were unsuccessful and reasons for retaining their travel documents and testimonies. I don't know why we are going all the way to Timbuktu, yet this thing is very well stated. Let us stick to this. Let us not go to all those things. And we are not here to prosecute anyone. We're just looking for information. Bona Advocate, let us stick to the summon.
Thank you so much, Honorable.
Thank you,
so
Chair.
much, Honorable Sato.
Thank you, Chair. Through you, somebody ever said a distance of 1,000 miles begin with a single step. Maybe the single step that you are taking now, that one of giving us the testimonials of the 14, let us follow through as they come. Maybe some other things are just coming on the way.
Honorable Yego, what is it?
Thank you, Chair. The team is not prepared to talk to us because submitting full scope, just a paper handwritten. Maybe Judy has confirmed that she just arrived this morning. So it seems she needs some time to prepare and table all these documents, and we will work together. Thank you.
So much. In the body of the petition, it said, draw the attention of the County Assembly of Gishu County to the following. Do hereby raise concerns. Raising concerns is not the concerns of the 14 members. They are raising concerns against all those who have issues with Firstchoice recruitment consultancy agency. And then it says that it's now a major scandal that has robbed many families. Honorable members seated here are here to represent the many families. If it was about the 14, then I think the best route was to go to court. But they brought the petition here, where we represent families and where we hear concerns. In this regard, Madam Judy Chepchirchir, this honorable committee will proceed on to prosecute this matter on behalf of the residents of Uasin Gishu and by extension Kenya, in their quest to find justice. This committee will, in their wisdom, try to know what went wrong, if there is anything that went wrong. And you've been invited here to help this committee to find answers on behalf of the petitioners and by extension the residents of Uasin Gishu County. That is the communication from the chair, that in view of this, the chair feels that you are not prepared, and I want to consider giving you time to go and prepare the details of the summon. You supply us with that information from point A to point D, so that we will be properly served, or we will be properly equipped with the documents that will help us in pursuing this matter to its conclusion. 1 minute.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. First of all, of course, we note the directions that the Chair has given, but we believe that it's also important for us to assist the committee, because The purpose of our attendance is to assist the committee. And I believe that should be the bottom line at the end of the day. There are things that we didn't want to raise before some of these issues have come up, Honorable Chair, and I think it's important for the committee to take note of it. Because if the committee is saying that we are not restricted to the petition, yes, that is before us, then there are issues that the committee also needs to take note as you process this matter going forward. One of the issues that I want to highlight to this committee is that out of the many people that Firstchoice deals, there are those who went to court. Yes? And their matters are being processed in court. It would then be sub judice for this honorable committee to process issues. And I would want to give an example.
What is the point of order?
Chair, is it in order for you to give audience to an attendee who had not been invited to direct this house, because I can already tell where that is headed to, that we are not sitting legally here today?
I concur.
Please rule, Chair.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Wanjoi.
Mr. Akili.
Sorry,
Through
Chair,
Chair.
that this is a case already in court.
Thank you. Yours is prosecuted. Honorable Wanjoi.
Mr. Wakili, through the chair, is there any court order barring this house from interrogating this matter?
And representing its people. Thank you, Chair.
Is there?
I am so much careful. I'm so much careful not to offend the seated honorable members, and again accommodate Judy Chepchirchir in this matter. I'm trying to balance the much I can, and I'm at many times I'm forced to look at my legal representative to know whether you've crossed the fence, the red line. There is a question directly asked by Honorable Wanjoi, that do we have any court order barring this committee from proceeding with this matter?
Yes, thank you, Honorable Chair and members of this committee. There is no any order that we are aware of that bars this committee from dealing, or expressly from dealing with the issue before you. There is no order, and that is why we've submitted ourselves before this committee. What I raised is a different issue when I highlighted what we call sub judice, indicating that issues that are being dealt with by a court of law cannot be dealt with anywhere else. I wanted to highlight a case, one of the cases that is in court, which I believe it will be good for this committee to consume its facts and everything, so that then it would guide the committee. Like I said, we are here to assist the committee. It would not be, it would be irresponsible of me having come before this committee and allow a legal infraction to happen when we can be able to address ourselves of it. We have a case before the Eldoret Small Claims Court, and that is E730 of 2022, by a client of Firstchoice on the same issues. So that then, if this committee is to proceed and deal with that specific issue or issues.
What's the case number and the parties?
Yes. Give me the parties. The case number. The case number is?
The one that you have just mentioned.
Yes.
The case number and the parties involved.
That's what I want to give. It's Eldoret Small Claims Court, case number E730 of 2022. The parties, and I'm saying this because that is public record. You can confirm from the court. Case, the case number?
Continue, continue.
Yes, the parties, Angeline Chepkemei as the claimant, and Judy Chepchirchir as the respondent.
Then, Chair, this is a matter before the small claim court, a court that is tasked with the matters pertaining less than 1 million. Am I right? 1 million shillings. We are in receipt of a petition that deals with enormous amount of money. This court only deals with amount less than 1 million. And we are in receipt of a petition I can't even express the figures, but they are above 1 million. So we are right. We are in our right to go on with this petition, and we cannot take any of your argument, as no orders has also been given or issued by the same court. We have also not been served by any of the documents pertaining in that case. So, Chair, let it not be a subject matter before this committee that there's actually an active pending case, rule that this is not a matter that should be subjected to this House.
Order, Honorable Anjui. Order. I just give a direction that Madam Judy Chepchirchir, you need more time to prepare and to submit all the documentations besides oral to this committee. Honorable members, it is difficult for us to proceed in the manner at which we are now. The only documents that I have admitted are 5. And she's saying that this is not the only documents that she has to enable her to assist this committee in finding a settlement for the petitioners and the members of this great county of Uasin Gishu. Honorable members and Madam Judy, being assisted by your counsel, I want to give you the whole of today and tomorrow morning so that you come back here equipped with these documents at 11. Yes.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair, for that direction. But we are still at a loss on something, and we would wish, because if we are going to proceed from those directions to come back or prepare to come back, we have to be very certain as to what else is required of us so that we are able to come back. 2 things is that, yes, you've directed, and we have no problem with the direction given by the chair, that you need us to prepare further. But for us, we are not certain as to what other information this committee needs from us. Because when you look at the summon, which form the basis for us to come to this committee, we thought we have satisfactorily prepared ourselves to come and respond.
Order. Order, members. I think perhaps maybe I could be of help. When we say details of current status of Uasin Gishu residents, you read that Uasin Gishu residents, not petitioners, who successfully applied and were to proceed to work in Qatar. The list of all the people who applied to go work abroad. That is the list. Mr. Gilbert Kipto Chepkonga. ID number. Telephone number. Applied to go to Qatar. That is one. You can give us one document, one column, detailing that, and then you can proceed on with that Excel to say, he paid this much. He succeeded. He went to Qatar on date X, Y, Z. And then on the other, he did not succeed. We have refunded the money. That is the details. We don't want to go to where you have an active case in court. We just want to know whether these people have been handled well. And in my submission, I want to believe that you can have the document by tomorrow morning. Yes?
Thank you, Chair. At least for clarifying the details that you need. That then brings us to another challenge that we have. Yes?
Order, Wakili. Now, when you say it brings us, who? Yes.
Yes. When I say us, Honorable Chair, I'm referring to me and my client. I'm not referring to members of this committee.
Chair, I still want to be guided because I think
Chair.
So we just want to know, can she provide that information or not? Directly, that's supposed to directly to Jude.
And I had not finished. Members had reservation on the legal counsel speaking. And it seems that the direction we are going, I think we had invited Judy. And her legal counsel was only to guide us where we go outside the law. Therefore, Chair, I think this is a matter of first choice, whose director is with us here, Judy, and it is upon her to supply the information we are asking as a committee, because she is not guilty. She is a resident of Uasin Gishu. The complainant are the resident of Uasin Gishu and its environ, and all what we are doing as the representative of the great people of Uasin Gishu is to try to address the public outcry that is outside there, and it was presented here by a petition. By now, she's not guilty. Therefore, let her be candid enough, not through the lawyer, so that they can provide this committee what we have requested. Maybe if she had this information, we wouldn't be here.
Chair.
Kindly give direction.
Chair. A minute, Chair. To add on.
Who is? Oh, yes.
To add on what the Honorable Vice Chair said, I would like us, even as you rule, because I can already tell you on your way to making that ruling, is that please make it clear what would be admissible in the next hearing. For instance, are we going to allow any other person who has not been invited within the summon that you'll have issued? Secondly, what exactly will their role be? We would rather have as many as the Judy would like to have, but let them sit at the chambers and follow the proceedings like everyone else. Secondly, Chair, is that there's an issue that was raised by an honorable member about that there is already a case existing in court about the same, there are chances that since the legal aid that is before us is very adamant at defending his client, there are chances that he's going to go ahead and get a court order on the same. Let it be known and make it clear today, Chair, that this will be a continuation of this particular sitting. So whatever will be brought thereafter will not be considered, because it will be a continuation of this particular session where it was inconclusive. Lastly, Chair, he invoked the data protection regulation when he was asked to give us details of the beneficiaries of their program, those who are the residents of Uasin Gishu, the people we represent. And they went ahead and talked about the data protection regulation that they were not going to provide. I don't know if you assumed that or you did not hear it. But let it be made clear today, before they exit, how much information is expected of them, and that we are not going to admit that because we are here talking on behalf of hundreds and thousands of people who cannot come and sit in these chambers today. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Caroline.
Chair.
Honorable Anjoy, and honorable members. The matter before us is very simple. It's very simple. It's about the documents being submitted to us. Will you do it tomorrow? That is the question I'm asking. So that I avoid all the questions from members. We require these documents A, B, C, D. Perhaps you may say that 5 hours, 6 hours is not enough. You want 7 hours or 8 hours.
Chair,
it's that simple.
On the same note, Chair.
Still on the same.
Chair.
I wanted them to.
In fact, Chair, to be honest, they have a challenge, and the challenge is they don't have proper records. They are confirming to us that they don't have proper record. That is why
honorable member from
just let me clear. Order. Just allow me.
Order, honorable member from Tarakwa. You don't put to them that they are not. That is out of order. Let them tell us.
Admitted they have a challenge.
Order.
Which challenge is that?
Order, honorable member from Tarakwa.
Honest.
You don't preempt on what the respondent intends to say. Perhaps they are very organized. We don't know. We will know.
Still on the same.
Please, let's not go there.
On the same
I want to ask Madam Judy Chepchirchir. Is it okay you fail the documents tomorrow at 10?
Thank you, Chair. It will be a challenge for us to fill the documents by tomorrow. Remember, you've not. I request.
So when will you be ready to provide the information to this committee?
Every time we are providing information, even the National Employment Authority, they give us 3 months because we do quarterly returns of the person going out of the country. And in that view, Honorable Chair, I would request this House to give us more time. And in regards to that, when it comes to details and information of persons, I need to seek first the consent of them so that I'm able to supply this House with all the information that is required. And Honorable Chair, I want to request amply, you've not given me time. You told us that you are coming to get facts from us. And I want to request these honorable members before this House that if you give us time, can we explain ourselves? Because you've documented that orally and documentary. So I beg or I request this House that you give us the space to explain ourselves. You've not that about Firstchoice. Maybe you have Firstchoice from another background. You're having it negatively. If you, in view of your presence, if it's okay with you, Honorable Chair, kindly, I stand guided that if you give us more, we explain, because I haven't even explained. It looked like what you guys have.
Chair, point of order.
Thank you.
First thing first. There is no way the chick came first before an egg. Therefore, you have guided this committee well. There is documentary evidence that you wanted, so that every member can be supplied. Here, the director, Firstchoice, have not provided this committee with admissible document that can be supplied to every member, so that when she is talking, they can refer, your members can refer to those documents. Therefore, we can't give her chance to explain herself without document. First thing first. Kindly, Chair.
And that is the tradition of this house and the procedure of this house.
Thank you so much, honorable members. I think you are guided that you can only, and you will be given that time, and you will have all the time to explain, to tell us the history, everything. You will have it. But we want you, when telling us that, we will be able to confirm with the documents given to us. What we're asking you to give us is so that we can move, so that we can now engage from the point of knowledge. And Madam Judy, when I say details of current status of Uasin Gishu residents who have applied, this is a document sitting in your office. When I say details and current status of Uasin Gishu residents who were to proceed for further studies to Poland, Finland, and Qatar, they are seated in your office. Number of Uasin Gishu residents who applied for jobs and learning opportunities but were unsuccessful. That information is seated in your office. This is a public sitting. When you tell us that you want to seek for their consent, and we are here seated on their behalf, then it becomes a question of, are you ready to comply with the request or not? Madam Judy Chepchirchir. I wanted to ask you to be with us here tomorrow at 11. Of the 4 documents, because you just arrived in Nairobi, according to you, and you managed to give us you gave us the 4, was it the 5 or the 4? Yeah. So I don't see anything hard for you that will stop you from running or photocopying what you have in your office and bringing it to us here tomorrow at 11. Honorable members, I'm adjourning this sitting until tomorrow at 11 for us to proceed on with Madam Judy.
While you adjourn, Chair, kindly, as one member stated, let the document be admissible. Why do we mean so, or why do we insist on that? This is a honorable house that deals with admissible document, and if possible, because Firstchoice, we have seen it in the website, it has a letterhead, it has a stamp. Let them be authenticated document that this assembly can keep them in their registry, so that whoever would like to get this information tomorrow, it will not just pieces of letter without a letterhead, without the source, because it can be a paper like any other.
Order, my vice chair, able vice chair. You know, she has a counsel representing her, and when we say submit these documents, he knows what we mean by it being admissible. We did not have a problem with written. We did not, as long as it has a letterhead or a signature from the Firstchoice director. But I'm asking you also to be orderly, so that those documents can easily be consumed by these members. And we proceed on. Closing remarks, Madam Judy.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I will want to request that tomorrow I might not be available. So if you consider giving us more time, maybe because of next week, I will avail myself. Thank you.
Through you, Chair, can she give us maybe the definite date? Maybe next week, which day?
Order, honorable member from Cheptiret, Kipchamo. We are not idle. And this is not baraza ya wazee kwa nyumbani. This is a honorable house. We have a timetable. And when I said tomorrow, it's because I was advised on the timetable of members. Okay, thank you so much. I'm taking that request, and we are meeting here on Tuesday, 31st January at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Chair. I will avail myself on that day, but kindly know that we will not release the documents, the details. I would release the numbers and how much they paid in total, but giving you the names without their consent, Honorable Chair, I will be going against the data protection.
Order, Madam Judy.
Chair.
Order, members. Judy,
Yes.
Judy, I have simplified point A, B, C, and D. I have simplified. And these members, we are in agreement of that simplicity. So it is upon you to decide what you do to the request we've given you. Of course, whichever way you decide, we will have our way to deal with it. So thank you so much, Madam Judy. We are meeting here on 31st January. That is on Tuesday at 9 a.m. so that we start. Be so advised. Thank you, honorable members. Thank you, Madam Judy. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.